Hello everyone, welcome to Educational Marga. This is Vishnu Kumar Pandey, and in this video I'm going to talk about this article from the Hindu. As you can see, the majority of the House members voted for second impeachment of the Donald Trump, and with this Donald Trump had made a record. Like Donald Trump becomes the first US president to be impeached twice, right? So let's move further. Before starting the discussion, make sure you subscribe my channel Educational Marga, and if you find this video informative, make sure you like the video and share with your friends and other students as well. So I have a question for you all. If you know the answer, try to write that in the comment section, right? Which article of the Indian Constitution is related to impeachment of the judges of the Supreme Court? Right. So if you know the answer and you have more information about that, you can share that in the comment section. Right. Let's move further. So as you can see, a majority of the US House has voted to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time. Just a week after he encouraged the loyalists to fight like the hell agents against the election result, a speech that was followed by a mob of his supporters storming the US Capitol Hill. The House voted on an article of impeachment for incitement of the insurrection was still underway, right? But now it has been passed. It has been passed from the House of Representatives, which is the lower house of the U.S. Congress, right? Congress means like we have the Parliament. In U.S., they used to call it as Congress. So, how the impeachment process follows, right? The very first step, the House votes on the article of impeachment, and if the simple majority support the impeachment, then the president is impeached and a trial begins in the Senate. But if the majority is not, simple majority is not supported by the members, then the president stays in the office, right? But what in the condition of the impeached, then that follows goes to the upper house, which is the Senate, right? And if two-thirds of the Senate vote to convict, then the president is removed from the office and the vice president takes over. But if the less than two-thirds of the Senate vote to convict, now president remains or stay in the office, right? Let's move further. So let's know about who can be impeached in USA. The president, vice president, and all the civil officers of the United States shall be removed from the office on impeachment for the conviction of treason on bravery or other high crimes, right? Okay. Then there is also something which is called the 25th Amendment, right? So before this impeachment, the members of the Congress were talking about using this 25th Amendment, right? And it gives a power to the vice president to take over or to remove the president and take its duties in certain conditions, like the when the president becomes disabled or like mentally unable, right, or resigns or dies in such conditions, the vice president gets a chance to act as the president. Let's move further. So so as I have told you that how the like article of impeachment follows. First, it is introduced in the House of Representatives, which is the lower house or sometimes just called as the US House, right? So, which impeaches the president by approving articles of impeachment through a simple majority vote. The second proceeding, the impeachment trial, takes place in the Senate, right? And if the Senate also passes that, then the president is impeached. And yeah, so as you can see, what is the status of the Congress this time? You can see over here in the November 2018 midterm elections, the Democratic Party won a new majority in the House, right? While the Republican Party increased its majority in the Senate. Okay, so just keep that in mind because we will just relate to this topic once again. So while Mr. Trump's first impeachment in 2019 brought no Republican votes in the House, right? What had happened actually in 2019, he was impeached once one more time in the House of Representatives, right? But as I told you that they had means Democrats had the majority only in the House of Representatives, but not in the Senate. So Senate rejected that because there the Republic is in majority. So the impeachment process was not proceeded, right? But this time, what had happened actually in the lower house, some of the Republicans, 10 Republicans, as you can see, like I have just taken this image from the WION, right? You can see like the total voted in favor of the impeachment were 228 and against of it was 194 and 11 were not voting, right? So like 10 Republicans, you can see they have voted in favor of the impeachment, right? So, is it a concern for the world? Of course, it is, because the democracy like USA is an example for other democracies, but such incidents set the wrong impact. Countries with no democracy, such as the China and Russia, try to take advantage of it, and they project it like the democracy is bad, right? So, but let's now talk about the impeachment in India. In India, impeachment can be started against president, judges, and others, but not against the prime minister. For the removal of prime minister, just a no confidence motion is passed from the lower house, which is Lok Sabha, right? Then you see uh, example of the impeachment in India, like Article 61, which is a procedure for the impeachment of the president, right? So here is the detail of Article 61. If you want to go through it, you can pause and you can read all the details related to that. Okay, so let's move to next. Now we can compare the Indian president's impeachment and US president's impeachment, right? So, in Indian context, for the impeachment of the president, a 14 days prior notice has to be given to him. But there is no such provision in the US president, like presidential impeachment, right? And in India, the impeachment can be initiated in either house, but in US it always initiate from the lower house, which is the House of Representatives, right? And in India, like the resolution to be passed need a majority not less than two-thirds of the total membership of the House. But in the US, in the first house, which is the House of Representatives, only simple majority is needed, and in the upper house, 2/3 is needed, which is in Senate, right? Yeah. So this was the difference between the impeachment of the US president and Indian president. Hope you learned something from this video, and if this was helpful for you, make sure you share this with others and support this channel. Thank you so much. Thank you.